Is that cruising mode, is it? Right. On board Hissy Fit, August 2022. Little summer trip to the Scilly Isles. Bobbed down to Foy last night, left there at 5 o'clock this morning. It's now 10 o'clock in the morning, just gone past the Lizard and the tide's turned against us. Just got through the gate there really. We did a little bit of sailing down towards the Dobman this morning, but the wind's right behind us, so, well, it's saying 2 knots true. I think it was a bit more than that, but 60-foot mono over here. We both tried sailing as we came around the Lizard because it felt like it was going to work, but it didn't. Next stop, Wolf Rock really. That's how many miles away? Bishop Rock, Wolf Rock, 19 miles, so about halfway point down to Land's End. So we've got Penzance and Newlyn up in there, Mousel, Marozine, and then Land's End in the far distance. Oh yeah, here come the dolphins, charging in, jumping, leaping and jumping. Oh, there they are. These ones are feeding by the looks of it. They're not very interested, but here comes one. Whoosh. He wants to play. As one of Matt's mates runs a wildlife watching catamaran out of Penzance, and they quite often see whales along here, so we have to keep our eyes open. Bobbing along, there's the Wolf Rock. Can you hear it? Can you hear the Wolf Rock? Oh, hi there, Mrs. Baker. Enjoyed your trip to the Scillies?
Loving it.
We're finally got some breeze, making some good forward progress all of a sudden. Really feel that the boat is loaded up, all tanks full, all the paraphernalia on board, and a very dirty bottom.
Cruising mode, Simon.
Is that cruising mode, is it? Right. Got a French boat down here that we've been hanging around with all day. Cornish chuff on the back. He's looking forward to a bit of holiday time. Been away at 10 knots now, 16 miles to go. Arrived at the Eastern Isles. Tracey's looking at, there's a little seal out there on top of what's called Seal Rock, would you believe it? So the seal is on Seal Rock. I don't know whether you can zoom in on that one. This is where Lady Bounty's favourite spot is, Dazcat, 14 metre. Our plan is to come through this little anchorage here and head up to St Martin, that golden sandy beach ahead. Beautiful time at the Scillies, hopefully. You can see the vineyard there in the distance. Found any rocks? Beady-eyed Baker. Is the seal still there? Is just one seal, or is there 2 seals? Just one seal on Seal Rock. If there were two seals, it'd be called 2 Seal Rock. Right. Time to have our wits about us. Lobster pots, semi-submerged rocks, all sorts of things after us here. So we've landed. St Martin. Vineyard just in behind there. Very pretty. Great granary over there. We've got about 300 mil of water underneath us at low tide, we reckon. So there's a couple of rocks there that are going to be exposed as well. That's Tresco in the background. St Mary's over here to the left with a big aerial. Time for a cup of tea, is it?
Time for a cup of tea, I think, don't you? Or did you want a beer? It's only 3:30.
Too early for beer.
Right, so I won't do the rides until we're just about ready to eat.
Okay. On Hissy Fit, cruising mode. Tracey in the galley. Cheers. Got the barbecue fired up, the flowers. I think they struggled with the journey here, but we're trying to bring them back to life, aren't we?
We are. I've given them fresh water.
St Martin in the background. We've had a few other arrivals. A wonderful evening. Been for a swim, seen how filthy the bottom of the boat is. We've got barnacles galore. So at the bottom of the tide we've got 0.3 of a metre underneath us. A few people on the beach. We've got the movable cockpit seating so we can get it just in the right spot. Who would want fixed seating, eh? Never be in the right angle for your view, for the sun. Yeah, Well, what a beautiful night. Just been looking at plans, gonna hopefully get to Teen and dry out there. And then we're gonna go and see the Abbey Gardens over at Tracey. We've got Abby and boyfriend Kieran coming out on Friday for a couple of days. Barbecue is empty.
Put your GoPro down.
And off we go.
Put your GoPro down.
No, I'm not going to put my GoPro down because I'm filming. Sunset over St Martin.
It's lovely.
Teen.
It's very lovely.
There we are. There's a channel right where we are, and there's a cable. There's loads of, you know, power cables going everywhere to avoid. We've got Jeremy from Penzance Sailing Club. He was or is the Commodore there. Toad from the Multi-Hull Centre, young family there. I've got their boat. They bought it as a part finished boat and finished it off, and they're now out here in the Scillies enjoying themselves. We've got Rick and his monohull lifting keel there, so he's been away cruising all summer. This is Teen, by the way, very pretty. St Helens in the background, St Martin over there. Well, that's where we were last night, and we walked around the island this morning and went to the Seven Stones pub for lunch. They did a fantastic mackerel and egg burger, or BAP. Time for a evening drink, I believe. Just been speaking with Daz. All's well at the boatyard. How's cruising life then?
Oh, very lovely, thank you, very lovely. Just enjoying reading my book in the evening sunshine, hoping that the barman might come and service me in a moment. Well, no, serve me the drink in a moment.
Nearly at the bottom of the tide. What have we got? 2.2, 200 mil underneath our rudders. Rick's over there, he's aground. He's leant over. Looks like he's perched on a rock. Let's have a look. Yep, he's definitely on the bottom. A little Wesley bilge keeler or similar. Quite a rocky entrance to go over the top of, and then there's sort of a bit of softer sand. Well, my plan was, actually, you've got to do just hanging off a few times, but if you actually went up there, drew a line in the sand where you said, right, this is the spot to come in on, then it'll be a safer game, wouldn't it? New bridle's working well, although it does look a little bit sharp on the angles to me. I think I'd have preferred it a bit longer. Maybe have to make another modification. St Helens light there. Couldn't be better, really. Could not be better. And it's set to continue. Just said to Brendan, next week's good. Why don't you jump on your boat and get out here? It doesn't happen this often, although this summer seems to be the one. Mrs B's chefing up.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. What have we got?
We've got creamy rosemary chicken pasta tonight.
Okay. Sounds good. The poor old Hissy Fit sofa's taken a bit of a beating. It's really, only in the last year, it's just suddenly crashed. So we need to get this recovered. Answers on a postcard. Shall we stick with an orange? Although this particular one isn't available anymore. Can we find another colour that would suit our interior as is? Question for all you interior designers out there. There we go. 0.2, so that's been calibrated to underneath the rudders, which is what suits me for this purpose. Dazcat cruising life. Waiting for the sunset, which Ian Rivers and Sentinel assures me is going to be the best sunset we've ever seen in our lives here. There's the moon, and here's the chef of the moment. Oh, she's taking her own pictures. Morning. It's August on the Isles of Scilly, or just Scilly. We're at Teen. Rudder's just in the water at the moment, so we're going to go over and see if we can do a bit of filming underwater and see what the state of the bottom's like. I've done a bit of scrubbing so far. So you can see where we've put some new patches of Coppercoat on the inside of the keel there, and there were barnacles. There was just no barnacles on that particular part. It's quite interesting. So this is season 8 for these this copper, and where we put some new test patches on last winter, it's definitely a bit better. Although it doesn't seem to improve the weed situation. A new anchor bridle. Weight of the chain doing the job. Not having to do very much work. The anchor, it's not really dug in there. time to go for a little explore. Taking a little walk up the top of Teen. Some Martin over there where we were yesterday. Hotel there, and then Seven Stars pub behind. 7 Stones, sorry. Little bay we're in. So we're just touching with our rudders this morning. Low water. Tresco over there. We're going to head over there and have a walk around the Abbey Gardens this afternoon. There's lots of little sailors out in dinghies today. St Helens Pool. And we'll carry on up to the top of this one and see what the view's like further up. It's looking pretty idyllic. Well, we made it to the top of Treen, however we're pronouncing it. And I, once again, hadn't really got my mind around it, but there's 2 sides to every one of these islands. There's the stony side that battles against the prevailing seas, and then there's the soft, sandy sides that become exposed. And every time you walk around one, whether it's big or small, they're the same. They've got a really granity heather edges to them, golden sandy beaches on the other side. That, I'm guessing, might be where the isolation or the quarantine island, we're reading about quarantine island. There's a little block over there, so sailors from years past were dropped off if they weren't well. Tracy enjoying her cruising? Looking forward to the first race?
No, we're cruising.
Top of the hill. We've just been to the new inn on Tresco, had a lovely fish supper, parked down here by the heliport, and you just see the windsock in the background. I've had a few choppers come in and land, not quite low tide, but it's 0.9 of a metre underneath us. Just another stunning night. It was great actually from the top of the hill as we were walking back, seeing a number of yachts moored up there in the main pool. A lot of overseas boats, French, Germans, Dutch, etc. They're definitely taking advantage of the easterly breeze to blow them this way. We're going to head to St Agnes tomorrow. We saw Nick and Spoons from Ocean Canvas. They do some of our stack packs, cockpit enclosures and the like. So there's gig racing over to St Agnes tomorrow night, and on Wednesday night, big band at the pub, the Turk's Head. We're going to see if we can find a little somewhere to drop our hook over there tomorrow. In the meantime, it's time to have a little beer now we're back on board. It's been a wonderful day. Another wonderful day. Tracey's waking up to the sunset. It's starting to shape up like it might be something special. There's a lot of pink in the sky. I think we're nearly at the end of this sunset. Just us and one other boat here at the Apple Tree Bay anchorage. 0.3 of a metre underneath us. We're being quite good with our accuracies. It's looking lovely up through there to Cromwell's Castle. There must be, I don't know, 100 boats anchored up there. Some anchored, some on moorings, buoys. And not a Mangata moon probably, but we've got the road to the moon anyway. It's Wednesday in August, off to Tresco and to have a look around the Abbey Gardens, which we missed out last year, so looking forward to that. Apple Tree Bay, Tresco. Just come ashore. Tide is starting to get quite big springs now. We've got, I don't know, 5.8 metres in the next few days.
It's going to be difficult to find anywhere to anchor.
It's going to be very difficult to find anywhere to go, isn't it?
Impossible.
All the little, just they're bobbing around in the shallow stuff's going to disappear and it's all going to dry out. Lost their arm up there. Abbey Gardens.